Hey, what's up guys, it's HWT Modern Warfare here, and welcome back to another episode of Hardware Tutorials. So in this tutorial I'm going to be showing you guys how to LED mod or ring of light mod the front of your Xbox 360 controller. We've got our default lights there, green, and we're going to change each one to a different color. Basically already done this with the console lights as well, which is my previous hardware tutorial video. So go ahead and watch that if you want to know how to do it on the actual console itself, but for this video we're going to be doing it on the controller. So first of all, to take a controller apart, you're going to want to obviously take out your battery pack. Now there's screws. We've got a screw there, screw there, screw there, same on the other side, one there, 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 and one underneath this sticker here. So when you get them all out, and they are Torx screws with the little security bit in the middle, so you need a Torx screwdriver that has a little hole in the middle of it, but you can obviously snap that little bit off the screw with some brute force and then just take it out with a normal Torx screwdriver, or if you can get the right size of flathead screwdriver you can also use that to take them out. So really you can get them out even if you don't have the correct tool for the job. So when you get all the screws, keep the controller facing down like this. You want to basically try and pry it out, push down on the triggers to get it off. Now I always do it this way, which may seem like a bit of a harder way to do it, but the reason we take this back bit off, in fact let me just lift the camera up a bit so we can see. So lift this off, pulls up, fairly straightforward, and just let these bits come off. But you always want to keep it facing down, because if you turn it around the other way the buttons can fall out, and that's just a mess if it falls out all over your floor and you got to pick them up and put them back in. It's really awkward, so it's good to just keep it facing down like this. We want to pull out our rumble pads. In fact, if you don't use the rumble pads, like if you don't use vibration on your controller, you can just take them out completely and it makes your controller a little bit lighter if you prefer that, which I've done on one of my other controllers. So again, we'll just pull this up, get our PCB off. So these are all the buttons underneath this, so if it was the other way around they would all fall out, so keep it facing down like that. And then we get our controller PCB. So we're going to want to take off our controller sticks. Now, as you've noticed, this is a Xbox 360 Elite controller, so it's got this sort of greeny grey coloured sticks, and I don't like that as much. I prefer the slim Xbox 360 controllers, because the slim controllers are black ones like this. I got these from an old broken slim controller, so I've got some spare parts, so I'm going to try and also make this controller look a bit more like this slim controller by using some of the slim parts when I put it back together instead of the Elite controller parts. Alright, so this should be the same for all controllers. Maybe not, I don't know if wired is the same. I've never had a wired 360 controller before, but I assume it will still be pretty much the same. So don't have any tweezers, man, I'll just use a screw. So we've got 4 lights, LED lights here, and they're all 0603 LEDs. So you want to get 0603 LEDs, which can also be used for the Xbox 360 console, the lights on the console. So it's a good idea to get a bunch of 0603s, and you can do both. Alright, so I think what we'll do is we'll make controller LED 1. I'm going to make that red, because on my other controller I have it blue, so just for a bit of a change I'm going to make the number 1 is going to be, yeah, red I think. Number 2 I'll make blue. Number 3 maybe leave that one green for number 3, and then number 4 I might make that yellow or something like that, so we get a good array of different colours. Alright, let's begin. Alright, so here we go. I can't get it really zoomed in any further, I'm afraid. The camera blurs out like crazy. So just kind of emphasizes how small the these LEDs are really. So I'm going to put a bit of flux on number 1, number 2 and number 4, and we're leaving number 3 default green. Okay, so with the soldering iron that we've got here, what we want to do is basically put some solder on the iron, get a nice blob built up, and then with that we're going to float it off, float our LED off. So that's it off, and that was, yeah, pretty easy. They're much easier to take off than 0805 LEDs. Well, I suppose it really depends on the size of your soldering iron. This is quite a small iron, so it's fairly good enough for these LEDs. I'm just going to take the other ones off while I'm at it. So get rid of that one. There we are. I think that's remained on the board, has it? No. It's hard to see in this light. And we'll take off number 4 as well. Just putting some more of a blob on there. Oh, we got that one off too. Alright, so as you can see, that is all 3 of those LEDs off, and we can now attempt to put our new ones on. I may have to reposition the camera, possibly because of the current position that it's in. It's kind of in the way, but the best angle I can get at the moment. Okay, so here's our LEDs, and these are 0603 LEDs, and I got these off Bright Components, which you can get if you live in the UK. They're on eBay. I'll link them in the description, but I'm sure you can get them if you live somewhere else. I'm sure you can get a hold of these quite easily somewhere online anyway. So tip the LED onto the board. Okay, so get a pair of tweezers would be best. We've got to grab our LED, which I tried to put, there it is. Now on the back of the LED, and if you've really seen the previous episode of hardware tutorials, this is pretty much the same thing. There's a little T on the back of the LED. Now you won't be able to see that clearly, but I'll put it up, I'll put an image up, and it's the middle one that I have. So you can see it's got a green kind of T, and you know, it's got positive as this end, negative as this end. So basically you want to point the T away from the little white dots on the board. Now see if you can see this. There are little white dots. In fact, yeah, you can see it. You can see it on number 3. You've got a white dot there. There's also a white dot there on number 4. And there should be white dots. Yeah, there's one there and one up there for LED number 1. You want to point the T in the opposite direction of that. Alright, I've had to add some extra light because it is really difficult to see because they are really small, and the lighting in this room isn't very good at the moment. So anyway, let's take a look. What we're going to use here is a multimeter to check that the LED is working and that it is the right colour. So we touch both ends, and I believe that's round the wrong way. There we are. You can see it lighting up there red. So we have got our red LED. So next, turn my multimeter off, and we will try and solder this on. So the sort of trick with this is to hold the LED in with the tweezers. With your other hand you want to solder it up. Just don't think that's really on securely enough. There we go. Alright, so I'm going to go and check that now, make sure it's working, and then we'll move on to the next one. Alright, that's so far so good on number 1. I just checked it and it's working. So next I'm going to quickly put my LEDs, my red ones, back in the packet so I don't get them mixed up with the other colours. Okay, so here are my LED strips, my LEDs. I'm just going to try and drop one on. Very, very small. It's easy for them to land and ping off somewhere, so don't want that to happen. So let's have a look where the T is facing. So we need the T facing away from the white dot, which is that way around. Grab it and place it into position. So grab the LED, position it. There we go, that's fixed on there. And on this side, got that fixed on. Again, test, make sure it's working, and then move on to the next one. Right, that's me done testing LED number 2, that's working. So again, I'm just going to put my LEDs back. In fact, I've only got one blue one left. I'm going to have to order some more of these. But I have lots of yellow ones left because I don't really use yellow that much. But just because we're doing multicolored, we'll pop a yellow one on for controller number 4 light. So let's do this. Grab my LEDs, peel it back, and just let it drop into position. Right, again, same thing. Find out where the white dot is. In fact, where is it? LED was sitting on top of the white dot. Figure out where the T is. Oh, dropped off, there we are. Very, very small, these things, which I find quite annoying, to be honest. Right, here we go. In fact, so holding it in with the tweezers, and that's it hooked up on that end. We'll just go around to the other end, try and do the same on the other end. Okay, so here's how we test, guys. Let's zoom out a little bit, and I've got a light lamp shining directly on it because it's kind of difficult to see. So right, how do we test? We take our bottom plate here and we stick this in. The battery connections just tuck underneath. So then on the bottom you want to plug in your battery pack. Then you want to grab this, which should be on the other part of your plastic controller, the other half. You want to just rest the middle bit over the top and push in. Hold on, try that again. There we are. And you can see there that that is working. Maybe if I turn this light off, you'll see it a bit clearer. The lights. There we are. I know the blue one looks incredibly brighter than the others, but I don't think it is. Once everything else, once you've got the main, what's it called? The other half on top shining through that little clear plastic, it probably won't look any different. So that's it. So next, you just got to put it back together. Simple as that. Let me turn this light back on. Okay, so like I said, I'm going to put these, I'm going to try and turn it into more of a slim looking controller instead of one of the elite controllers. So I'm putting these black thumbsticks on. And pop this on as well. What else? I'll also do the D-pad and the middle as well. Where's the middle bit? Right, let's grab this. You notice that on a older controller, this middle green bit here is it's not that reflective. It's kind of like polished plastic. It just doesn't look quite as good. Like here's this, I'll give you an example of the slim ones. The slim ones are a lot shinier and more reflective. So that's the Elite one, and then this is a slim one. You can see the slim one reflects everything and it just looks shinier and better. So I'm replacing this with this one and it'll hopefully look better. And just basically try and make it look more like a slim Xbox controller. And oh, take this out. Try and make it look more like a slim here. There we are. Alright, so basically just going to add the D-pad. That needs screws as well. If you're going to replace a D-pad, to get it out there are 2 screws in there that you have to unscrew, and then the D-pad will pop out and you can pop a different coloured one in. So I'm going to put the black D-pad from the Slim controller on there, and hopefully it'll look more like a Slim controller by the time it's done, and I'll show you the LEDs once I put everything back together. So I don't really need to show you guys how to put it back together, just reverse what you did to put it together. It's not exactly too complicated. Alright, so I'll show you guys the finished results. Alright, so here's the controller all put back together now. What I shall do is turn it on and we'll see the lights. As you can see, all them different colours, and it looks quite good, all the multicoloured lights instead of them all being the same. And I just think they look better as well with that sort of shiny reflective X button in the middle instead of the normal old Elite one, which is blurry and stuff. So anyway, that is basically it. It kind of looks more like a Slim controller now, except it has the Microsoft logo along the top there. Normally on a real Slim controller that would be Xbox 360 that it would say on there. But yeah, it looks more like a Slim controller and it's got all the LEDs. So I have one more controller video to bring you guys, which is the installation of the Arbiter 3 Elite Rapid Fire chip, which is ridiculous. Like, the different modes that rapid fire chip has is just unbelievable. So I'm going to be doing an install tutorial of that, and then I'll move back onto the console to do a full RJH2 tutorial as well. But yeah, basically Arbiter 3 videos coming next, and a lot of people disapprove of modded controllers, but in my opinion loads of people who disapprove of modded controllers actually have SCUF controllers, and SCUF controllers are modded controllers as well. Just because they're approved doesn't mean they're not modded. They plainly are. So yeah, if you've got a SCUF controller, don't try and say you hate people with modded controllers because you own one yourself. But yeah, anyway, I'll go over that in another video, which will be the Arbiter 3 installation video. Okay, so comment if you have any questions, like the video if you liked it, subscribe if you haven't subscribed already, and I will see you guys in my next video.